the purpose of today's session is as follows. What we have hanging in our closets are some of the most vital and important things in our lives. After all, each and every one of us gets dressed 365 days out of the year. There's no skipping a day. So clothing and what we have in our closets is super important. By helping find your body shape, creating a solid foundation with essentials, and following a very simple outfit formula that I've come up with will help you cultivate your own personal style and make dressing your body easier and fun. Our wardrobes should bring us joy and ease, and that's sort of what we're after today. So if you guys missed last week, I'm going to just quickly run over my my history in the styling world. I'm not going to take too much time because I don't want to bore those of you who were here last week. But essentially, I talk about how I got into the fashion world, some of the clients that I've worked with, and how I work with private clients, because it's very different working with private clients than it is to work on big sets, you know, styling big commercials with celebrities. So today, these are the four sort of pillars that we are going to cover. So first and foremost, I'm actually curious. So if you guys could open up your chat box, how many of you know what your body shape is? So go ahead and just say I, or I don't know, put a little question mark, whatever, put it in the chat box. So body shapes, we, as women, no matter what size you are, you could be a size 2, you could be a size 26, we all have a body shape. So somebody who could be, you know, a rectangle at a size 2 can also be a rectangle at size 26. So no matter what size we are, I'll walk you through how you can find your body shape. This will help you edit your current wardrobe, and it will make it easier to find clothing that will work for you. The next pillar is how to find your style. I know that there was a few people that sent in questions, so I'm hoping to sort of answer those throughout this presentation. And if I don't, I'm happy to answer them at the end. But I think actually a couple people had asked about, you know, how to create your own style. So that's where we're gonna touch on that in this pillar. Do you not feel like you have a style? Are you at a loss for trying to create one? So I have a little sort of trick you guys can do if you come up with these 3 things, which I'll talk about, that will help you cultivate your own style. Moving on to number 6, closet essentials. Sort of creating a reliable foundation of clothing makes dressing infinitely easier. Think about little black dresses, plain white t-shirts, a pair of flats, a really good pair of jeans. Closet essentials that every closet is complete without. Moving on to 7, outfit formulas. So we've gone through the edit, we have our closet essentials, we know what our body shape is, we sort of have an idea about our style. This outfit formula that I've sort of created is going to make your lives so much easier. If you struggle getting dressed in the morning, if you struggle with how to style certain things, following this formula will make your life a lot easier and getting dressed a lot quicker. So like I said, this is a little bit of my background. I'm not going to go too in depth because I went through this last week. So you guys will be getting this presentation if you're here today. So you can go ahead and, you know, look back at this. But essentially, this is just me running through the history of my styling career. And then this next page is some of the brands that I've worked with, everything from Nike to Fossil to Airwick, Body Armor, Sports Drink, Saks Fifth Avenue, et cetera, et cetera. This is me right here on a day in the hot summer. A lot of people think the styling is like this big glamorous, you know, job. It's not. We do a lot of heavy lifting and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into it. So this was actually just a day that I had pulled a bunch of stuff for one of the jobs I was styling. And so this is a couple of the bigger projects that I've done. Luminous Diamonds is plain in the middle. I was an assistant stylist on the GQ magazine, and I got to meet all of those fun guys up top. And then this Body Armor, you guys can go ahead and when you get this deck, you can go ahead and watch those if you so wish. And then this is how I work with my private clients. Again, I went over this last week. We do a consultation, we do a closet edit, we do a reorganization like we did last week. I do a shop, a fitting with you. I fill in all the holes and then I create a lookbook. So if you guys are looking for help, this is something that I can help you with. Okay, let's get into it. So body shape. I can't see the chat box, so I don't know how many of you know your body shape, or maybe you need help finding your body shape. But essentially, these are, oh, so that's me right there, top left. This was a shoot I did for Gwynnie B. And this is a great sort of representation of some of the body shapes that exist in our world, right? So I'm a triangle. That means my bust and shoulders are narrower than my hips with a defined waist. So my waist is a little bit more narrower than my hips as well. Oval usually means your bust and hips are similar in size with a full waist. Inverted triangle, your bust is fuller than your hips with a defined waist. Hourglass, bust and hips are similar in size with a defined waist. Column means your bust, waist, and hips are similar in size. Don't worry about petite and tall. We already know that you have to find certain lengths to fit, but that's not really like a shape, because you can be tall and you can be petite and you can be any one of these shapes. So in order to dress your body correctly and to dress your body well, you need to know what shape you are. It will make you feel more confident when you're, and more confident and comfortable when you're wearing clothes that work for your body shape. So how do we find our body shape? So this can be really technical. It can deal with a lot of math, but I'm gonna try to simplify it for all of us because it doesn't need to be as technical. So first and foremost, you're gonna find a measuring tape, one of those fabric ones, it's soft. And you're gonna measure the 4 points that are up on the screen. So you're gonna measure your shoulders at the very tip, almost like the measuring tape is sort of sliding off all the way around. And that's how you're gonna find your shoulder measurement. Bust, same thing, you're gonna measure from, you know, all the way around to the widest point, fullest point on your bust all the way around. And make sure that you're not holding the tape, measuring tape so tight that it's changing the dimensions. So you wanna have it be a tiny bit loose. Waist, same thing. Usually you can find your waist measurement above your belly button. That's usually the narrowest point. And then your hips, you're gonna find the widest part of your hips, and you're gonna have 4 measurements. So the other piece I want to mention too, since we're here, is about figuring out torso, right? So if you have a short torso and have tried a high-waisted pant, you're probably like, what the heck is happening? They're probably all the way up to your bust. If you have a short torso, high waist is not gonna work. You're looking for a shorter inseam. So in order to find your torso, I'm gonna just quickly get up and show you. So you're gonna find your belly button. So my belly button is right about here. You're gonna place one hand underneath your bust and then the other hand underneath that hand. So my belly button is sort of right underneath my hand. Now, if your belly button is lower than your hand, you have a long torso. If your belly button is underneath your hand, like in this area, above your first hand or above your second hand, it means you have a short torso. So all that means is that those of you who have a long torso or a short torso, you need to pay attention to your inseams. So people who have a longer torso will be really good to wear a high-waisted pant. And for those of you who have a short torso, mid-rise is probably best for you. So you guys can just keep that sort of like tidbit in mind when you're looking for clothing. So let's talk a little bit about shapes for just a second. So I'm a triangle. I know that some people can sort of compare our bodies to like fruits and vegetables. I don't like to do that. So triangle would also technically be like a pear. And that's me. That's also like Jennifer Lopez or Kim Kardashian, small waist, big butt, essentially. So again, my hip measurement is wider than my bust and my shoulders. My waist is more likely defined and narrower than my hips. And the best thing that I can do to dress my body to make it look the best is to accentuate my waist. So that means I can wear high-waisted pants. That means I can wear a sweater and have it belted. Things that define my waist are the best for triangle shape. Moving on to inverted triangle. Your shoulders and your bust are the broadest part. Your hips and waist are narrower. And to balance, so I guess I say all this to say, we need to sort of like think about balancing, right? So if you're wider up here, to balance your lower half is to add volume. So you're sort of getting that illusion that your hips and your lower half are just as wide as your shoulders and the broadest part of your body up here. If you're a circle, your shoulders, bust, waist, and hips are similar in size. You're in the measurements that you take. Your shoulders and hips may be slightly narrower. Your waistline is rather undefined. In order to dress your body, if you are a circle, the best way, accentuating your neckline and your bust is the best way to accentuate your body. And then to also create structure with jackets. If you're a rectangle, your shoulders and bust and hips are all around the same size. Your waistline is more straight than curvy. It's pretty much undefined. And the best way to dress your body if you're a rectangle is to create volume and curves with silhouettes. So as you guys can see, she's got this sort of a little bit of an A-line dress on where it gives her some volume sort of in her lower half. I'm not gonna get too technical. I mean, I could tell you guys for each shape, you know, what you should wear. I'm also not the type of stylist to, and I'm certainly not gonna spend my time today, you know, dressing you to make things look smaller or to stay away from patterns because they make you look bigger. I throw all of that nonsense, whoever came up with that, out the window. It doesn't mean anything. You know, I saw, as I was doing research, I was looking at this one particular stylist who said, if you're a triangle shape, stay away from patterned bottoms. So like no camouflage pants, no leopard pants, no floral pants, nothing like that. And I just think that's a bunch of baloney, to be honest with you. I don't think that because of our shape or size that we have to live by some rules that somebody made up. I think that we should wear what makes us happy. And not think about what makes us look smaller or how do I make my butt look not so big. I mean, I just think that it's ridiculous. And I think that you should dress in things that make us happy. So anyways, I say all that to say, here are a couple of resources. They're clickable links. If you are looking for more in-depth details, these on how to dress for your particular body, these are really, really great articles that you can read. They sort of walk you through some of the good things. Trunk Club, this is where I got this information. I think it's great. Okay, so moving on to style. A couple of the questions that came in said, you know, I'm sort of like at a loss, don't really know what my style is or how to create a style. And I think that this is probably one of the best ways to figure out what your style is. So if you think about why you dress the way that you do, or I should speak from a personal standpoint, I dress because in a certain way because it's my personality. And that's how I sort of express myself. So if I had to choose 3 words to describe my personal style, it would be feminine, edgy, and sporty. And so if I go through my closet, most things in my closet sort of portray these 3 words. I mean, we could talk about the outfit that I have on today. So my top is a turtleneck with a leopard print turtleneck, which I think is pretty feminine. I have a pair of sort of like baggy leather pants on with cargo pockets. And if I were to wear a shoe, which I don't have on right now, I would either do a sneaker or some sort of high heel. So that way I've got the edgy pants on. I've got, if I wore a sneaker, I got the sporty aspect, but also sort of the bagginess of my pants are sporty. And then the feminine aspect, you know, I've got my jewelry on, my leopard print sort of turtleneck. And so if you're looking to sort of cultivate your style and you're not really sure what it is, come up with 3 adjectives that describe your personality. And that's the best way to figure out what your style is. Because again, it's about expressing our personality. here. So I just dropped some words here to sort of get you thinking about it. You know, if you're a city dweller or a country dweller, that's going to sort of dictate what sort of things you wear. You're probably not going to be in, I don't know, Amherst, Massachusetts with a pair of stilettos on and leather pants walking down the sidewalk. I mean, you could, but I mean, I do when I go back, but you know, so those are the types of words that I want you guys to be thinking about when trying to figure out what your style is. All right. Moving on to closet essentials. So now that we sort of know what our body shape is and know what our style is, we can come up with some foundational pieces that will make your dressing so much easier. It's essentially a collection of basics, right? So it's not going to be like leather pants. It's going to probably be like jeans, you know, and basic tees, because that's just for anybody across the board. I could still, for me personally, I could still have a collection of basics, but you know, my black pant, my black jean, or my black trouser might be a leather pant. So you can sort of take sort of these, you know, ideas and make them work for your particular style. These pieces will last a lifetime. They'll be timeless. They won't go out of style. These pieces will help bring your outfits together. All these pieces will work together, which is the point of this, right? So if you pulled out something in your closet and you pulled out a pant, more than likely they're gonna match and they're gonna go together. And that's just a great way to make dressing easier. You won't have to worry about what to wear. And these are fundamental components of having a complete wardrobe. So this is a lot. This picture is a lot of information on the left-hand side. However, I wanted to use this photo because I wanted to show you that they're all neutral colors, right? They all sort of work together. So if we look up at the basic knits, we've got a couple tank tops in neutral colors, a couple t-shirts, a couple long sleeve shirts. Moving on to jackets, this sort of khaki color beige jacket down here is essential. You know, this denim jacket, maybe you have a blazer, traditional blazer, maybe a leather jacket. Then you've got a few blouses. Maybe you've got, oh, and also I should say, if you aren't someone who likes to wear a denim jacket, maybe it's a denim shirt. It's definitely a wardrobe staple that we should have in our closets. A couple blouses in neutral colors, again, pants in neutral colors, a couple dresses, skirts, all in neutral colors, because, and then if you choose a basic, right, a basic knit up here, and you choose a basic bottom, more than likely, they're gonna be able to go together. So again, creating this in your wardrobe, if you don't have some of these pieces, you should think about getting some of these pieces. So that way, again, this is all to make your wardrobes and your lives easier. Down here, we're talking about, you know, a essential shoe. Pump doesn't have to be 5 inches. It can be a block heel, and it can be a low block heel. Same thing with a sandal. They can be flat. They don't have to be, you know, 3 inches. Again, if you take this and it's a flat, it can go with literally everything up here. Same thing with the black pump. You pair it with anything up here. Moving on to jeans, having, I think that everybody should have a skinny jean. If you're not a skinny jean type of person, you should have one really great sort of darker, dark to medium wash jean in your closet, but you can also have a black pair of jeans. A white pair of jeans is essential. And then moving on to accessories, I think having delicate jewelry, this is not so delicate, but imagine this just being a little bit, you know, smaller. And then here are some more shoe options. I think having, you know, a bootie or a boot, a white sneaker is super essential. And then, you know, a neutral color purse. Here I've broken it down in a simpler form if that picture drove you crazy. Again, a couple basic tops, basics here, a couple basic jackets. Again, these all can sort of work together. You have got a little black dress, you've got a skirt. It doesn't have to be black, but it can be any sort of neutral color. And then down here, as you guys can see, some more shoe options. They do have a leopard purse here. I would actually suggest having sort of a printed animal print shoe, because I think that again is an essential. So it could be like a leopard sneaker, or, you know, a ballet flat that has snakeskin print or something along that line. Okay, so now we're on to outfit formulas. It's pretty simple, right? We're gonna make this as simple as possible. So if you think about it, we're gonna have a basic, a layer, a shoe, an accessory, and then for bonus, you can add your personal style. So you're probably wondering what I mean about that. So it could be a top, and then pair it with a basic bottom, or a basic one piece. So that could be, you could take out the top and the bottom and just go for a dress, romper, or jumpsuit. And then you add a layer. It could be a jacket, it could be a cardigan, and then you're gonna add your accessories. So you're gonna add a piece of jewelry, you can add sunglasses, you can add a baseball cap or a wide brim hat or a scarf. Then you're gonna add your shoe. And then for bonus, if you wanted to, you could add your personal style. That could be if you have a bright red pair of glasses that you wear, reading glasses, you can add, you know, a vibrant color lipstick, depending on how you do your nails, or your hair can also be a personal style touch. And then, you know, a fun handbag. So again, this is an outfit formula that you all can sort of use on your own. And it's simple. It's a basic, a layer, an accessory, a shoe. And so you can use this formula every single day, and it will make your life a lot easier, as opposed to going into your closet and not really knowing where to even start. So I have pulled some images from the World Wide Web on essentially that. We're talking about basics and we're talking about outfit formula. So up here to the left, we start with her basic underneath. It looks like a beige sort of sweater. Then she's added a dark wash jean. Then she's added her scarf as an accessory and a purse as an accessory or personal style. She's got a watch, a necklace, and a pair of shoes. And we don't necessarily have to go through each one of these, but essentially these are just examples. Let's go to this one with the yellow jacket. So she's got a basic top, basic bottom. She's got her shoes, she's got an accessory, and she's got her layer. Same thing down here. She's got her basic tank top, basic pair of jeans. She doesn't have a layer because it's probably too hot for that, but she's got an accessory or personal style, which is the hat, sunglasses, and a great pair of shoes. So it sounds really boring and it sounds not exciting, right? This outfit formula, like basic, layer, you know, etc. But look at how cute these outfits are, okay? So let's see some outfits in real time, in real life. So I pulled some images from a couple of bloggers, and this girl just has really great style. So here, basic, shoe, accessory, perfect. Same thing here. She's got her basic top, basic jeans, a layer with this jacket, a great pair of shoes, and a purse, and so on and so forth. And I mean, even it looks like maybe she's going to work out, and you can even do this with workout clothes. So she's got her basic, she's got a layer or an accessory, depending on how you use it. Great pair of shoes and another accessory for sunglasses. And a couple more examples. We've got Ruthie over here and her basic, which is a dress. She's got her layer, which is a denim jacket. She's got a great pair of shoes, and she's got some accessories on her hand. So this is not brain science, right? This is really a really super easy formula to be able to follow. Same thing in the middle. And then I wanted to also include a picture of her, I think it's her husband, right? It's the same outfit formula for him. He's got a basic top, basic bottom. He's added a layer, and he's got a great shoe. And then a couple more examples just to sort of reiterate my point. This girl is wearing, Bonnie over here is wearing a Gucci t-shirt with each one of her outfits. And this is a prime example of how we can use a basic white t-shirt and create multiple outfits with what we have in our closet from having a great foundation of pieces. So she's got a black pant on, she's layered it with a denim shirt or denim jacket, great pair of booties, and a hat. Same thing, moving on, leather jacket, great pair of, I think they're sweatpants. And it's just another great example of how many ways you can come up with you don't need to have 5,000 things in your closet to feel like you have style. It's really about using this outfit formula and making it work. I love this one in the middle because this is a great example. So you can't really see, but she's got a cardigan on over her dress and she's used this belt as an accessory. She's got a great pair of boots on and she's got her purse. So she's got a basic, which is her dress, and then the cardigan over top to sort of make it look like, well, it's a layer. So I just love this because it's creative and it's unique. And if most of you guys are like me, I'm wearing a lot of sweatpants nowadays. This is a great way to sort of take that outfit formula and make it work, right? Basic top, basic bottom. She's got her layer, she's got her personal style, which is this sort of fanny pack, cross shoulder body bag, and a great pair of sneakers. And they're all sort of doing the same thing with their outfits. Last one, again, super simple formula. You can make your outfits look chic. And again, they're all wearing basic tops, basic bottoms. They all have layers, except for this girl over here. They've got layers, great purse. She's got, you know, a essential wardrobe piece on her feet, etc. So that's pretty much it. I want to take this moment just to sort of, you know, we can connect wherever. I've got my email here. You can find me on YouTube. My Instagram account is here, my website and my Facebook page. I really highly encourage you to check out my Facebook page and my Instagram page because I've created these really amazing communities with a lot of women who are mid-size. And it's a really great place to connect with other women and gain inspiration from each other and things of that nature. So with that being said, I am happy to take any sort of questions or comments that you guys may have.
And we had a few questions that came in. Thank you, Meredith. That was awesome. I'm like processing everything.
It's a lot of information, but I really try to not make things too technical because it doesn't need to be technical. It can just be very simple and straightforward. We don't need to worry about the mathematics behind how to find our body shape. So I hope it's helpful.
So we've got a couple different questions, some coming in chat, but I also want to make sure that we did answer the questions for folks who sent them in early. So Elizabeth, are you on the call? And I'm happy to, you know, ask you to go ahead and unmute yourselves and ask your own question. I'm just seeing if Elizabeth Shaler is on the call, but I don't see her, but I see that Lori is. And Lori, you had sent in a question.
Hi, Jill. I'm on the call. My avatar says lose.
Oh, there you are. Okay. If you feel free to put video on if you want, or ask your question.
Sure. I'm kind of bundled up today because it's cold here in my home office. However, hi, everybody. Elizabeth Shaler, class of 1984. And thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful hour of style session. My question is, I'm in the process of mounting, setting out my, my business as a creative consultant. And I'm really, really interested in using my wardrobe to help me with my business. And so I'm looking to create a wardrobe which says professional, confident, get it done, but also creative and welcoming.
Thank you so much for being here, Luz. So again, I'm gonna just refer you back to sort of cultivating your style, right? You just used a bunch of adjectives to, you know, portray what you want. I think a lot of the pieces that you probably already have in your closet will work. And I think being able to make them work for both you know, work and, you know, pleasure and leisure life. And I think being able to, and I can also send you some articles and things to look at once we hop off of here. But I think you, so you know what your style is, or are you trying to cultivate your style?
Yeah, I have a pretty good sense of my style, and I really just want to make sure that it's working for me in terms of my work as a creative consultant.
Okay. So it's hard because I don't know, I haven't been in your closet. I don't know what you dress like. I don't know what your style is, but I think, can you maybe describe an outfit that you would typically wear so I can maybe try to help you?
Well, so here's the thing. I'm transitioning from my job, which is I work for the government. I'm a supervisor there. So as you might imagine, the wardrobe that I would wear for the government is very, you know, it's sensible. Sure. It's supposed to, and I definitely use it to project an aura of trustworthiness, nothing too crazy. Right. But definitely what I'm looking for in my work is to project something a little bit more creative. So the kind of things I have in my closet are like, you know, those government worker clothes, which sure. to me are, some of those pieces are really nice. I got some great basics, but then some of them are just like, you know, no other way to put it, but just to me, straight up boring. They work great for the job. But to me, when I put them on, I'm like, oh my God, this is so boring.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you said that you want to find ways to look a little bit more creative. So I would suggest looking at things with prints. Okay.
I love prints.
Yes. And I think that's a great start. Okay. That's a great place to start. Second of all, the things that you have in your closet don't necessarily have to be boring, right? So we talked about having basics. And if we have basics and then we, let's just say, layer them with, I'll just give you an example since I'm here. All right, so let's just take this boring, basic tank top, right? Boring. There's nothing to it. It's just a boring tank top. It's a bodysuit. Looks great on, but it's boring. How can we make this more interesting, right? So we could take something like this, has a print, and it's another sort of essential because it's a button down, right? And the way that we wear it now could make whatever is boring look less boring by making it interesting with something that we layer on top. And how we can do that is we could leave it open, but we could also sort of do this front sort of tie. Okay, so that's a great example of how you can take something that's very boring and make it less boring. Okay, and then also with this, or another example is to add some accessories to sort of spice up your boring, what you call your boring pieces of clothing, right? So you could take this. I don't have a scarf with me on hand, but what if you have this beautiful sort of printed scarf that you could wear with your boring basic? Then your boring basic becomes less boring, right? So it's all about adding elements of interest, right? You could also, you know, if you wanted to just do this, you could add a fun bottom to it. So for example, you could just, like what I'm wearing today, I have a pair of these amazing leather pants on. Adding interest, an element of interest with something that happens to be just an essential foundation piece will make it more interesting to look at. Again, you can do that with your bottoms. You could wear an amazing, you know, pleated skirt with this. And then you could add like a little blazer on top. Again, if you're just wearing this with a pair of jeans, you could make it more interesting and creative looking by adding a really fun earring to it or some sort of, you know, fun necklace. So I think those are a couple of good ways to sort of make your, you know, traditional work pieces sort of look more creative in ways that you sort of put them together with things additional, in addition to the basic pieces you have. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you so much, Meredith. That was really helpful. I tend to I was way overcomplicating this.
I think we do that. Yeah.
We're so good at that. We're geniuses at overcomplicated. So thank you so much for giving the formula, and also your capsule wardrobe breakdown was really brilliant. Thank you. I really appreciated that. Best of luck to you. Thank you.
Okay, and I think in a similar but slightly different question from Lori, and I see you've turned your video on. Thanks. So why don't you go ahead?
Hi. My question. Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
You look so beautiful. I didn't think that I was gonna be turning my video on, so like left my glasses, nothing. But
you look great.
So my question was kind of along the lines of like, I feel like I've never had a style, and a lot of times I feel like it was because of weight. So during COVID, I feel like
let me stop you.
Okay.
Time out. Wait, what? Okay, so no matter where we are in our life, no matter what weight we're at, no matter if we're 20 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, or wanting to lose weight, I think we should always still make our clothing important and special to us. So, okay, continue. Sorry. That was my little tidbit.
So I feel like COVID, people have either gone up or down, and I spent this time going down. Mm-hmm. So I'm about 40 pounds down. So it's time for me to get new clothes. So when I saw your video, I was like, oh, I have to join in, but I need to purge, which is what I was watching last week, and I still need to purge. And I'm still just hanging around in a t-shirt, which is how I'm working from home.
Sure.
So I need to do a style, but I feel like sometimes if I even attempt a style, I'm like, I don't want to always sacrifice comfort. So I guess that was sort of more my question of like,
that's really hard.
Without sacrificing comfort, how do I go for a style?
Yeah. Okay. Can you give me an example of something that you wanted to try that maybe was uncomfortable for you?
Even, I mean, jeans. I know you say like that's so basic, and I feel like I've been living my life in either yoga pants or like black work pants and not jeans.
Okay. So for jeans, are you getting jeans that have stretch in them?
So I'm literally on my second screen, like looking up other ones that have a stretch, because I'm like, oh, those don't look like they have like a great stretch.
Okay.
So
listen to me. Okay. You see all those pants up there? Let me. Okay.
There we go.
They all have stretch, every single one of them, because for me and my body shape, nothing that if something does not have stretch, it is the most uncomfortable. And I think that once you find a great pair of jeans that work for your body shape and that have stretch, your life is going to change. Your life is going to change, because sometimes I come home after wearing my jeans and I don't go, that's not the first thing I go to take off, you know? And so I think finding a really great pair of jeans, you can find a really great pair of jeans that have stretch that are comfortable. So I'll say that first. Second of all, I want to ask you the 3 questions. So like, since you're sort of at this new place in your life, you're a little bit lighter, you haven't changed as a person, right? Just your outward appearance has. Mm-hmm. So what are 3 sort of adjectives that you would describe your personality as?
Well, I was looking at your sheet, so I was kind of taking notes, but I like the outgoing, fun, and I guess I've always been sporty, but I feel like I don't necessarily have to show that in my clothes. Like I still playing hockey, I still do sports, but I feel like I do that enough where I'd rather have the outgoing fun showing up in my clothes.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I like adding the sporty aspect of to my wardrobe just because it's comfortable, right? So like I have 5,000 loungewear sets since quarantine started, right? They're sporty, they're comfortable, you know, they're stylish. But I will say though that like you could take those things that, you know, you're fun. So I have a question. Do you have, you know, prints in your wardrobe at all? Because I feel like that's a great way to sort of implement fun.
A little bit, because I end up wearing black yoga pants like 90% of the time. So then but almost every time I go for like a fun color, I'm like, oh, I don't know if you can see through the shirt. I just end up in like a navy blue, black almost all the time. And I want more color in my life.
Right. Okay. So here's my first bit of advice. Stop buying black clothing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's the best way. Just force yourself. I mean, if you really want to wear and implement color into your wardrobe, then start buying it. And you know, for that example that you gave me, if you're worried about seeing underneath it, throw on a tank top, you know, a basic tank top, and you won't see through. But I think that's probably mostly in your own head. If I had to guess, you probably can't see through it, whatever top it is you were talking about. But I think sort of honing in on those adjectives that you use to describe yourself, and just start sort of when you're starting to purge your clothing in your closet, you know, ask yourself, well, is this the style that I want to portray? Is this the person that I want to portray to the world, right? And so that way you can get rid of all the stuff that no longer suits your personality and your style. And then start adding slowly, you know, pieces that only speak to what you enjoy, what brings you joy, and your personality. And I think that's a really great place to start.
Yeah, one of the problems I'm having with the purge is I keep going like, oh, well, that's just a lounge around t-shirt. And I'm like, okay, you have like 2 large drawers of lounge around t-shirts.
Okay, so just bring it down to 1.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
You can keep them, you know, just don't keep all of them,
Yeah,
right? Keep enough that you're of the ones that your favorite ones, that you're the ones that you're going to wear, and then, you know, donate or, you know, sell off, depending on what they are, to, you know, a charity or organization. Somebody could probably use those, but it's probably just taking up space where you could put that fun and creative sort of clothing that you want, desperately want to have in your closet. It's taking up space. So
right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You look beautiful.
So being conscious of time, we've got 2 more questions here in the queue. So Betsy, I know you had a question. So if you'd like to unmute or go to video or.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Yeah, some of it was kind of answered with what you said to Lori. My sort of big issue has always been that not feeling comfortable in my own skin, but that's another issue. But I guess my more direct question that maybe you can help me with is, like, all of my normal pants, they don't stay up. And I think my midsection's a little bit too big to find belts that are comfortable. Do you have any advice for that particular? Like, I'll be walking around in my jeans and my jeans will be like down to my...
Yes. Are you wearing high-waisted jeans by any chance?
No, I think they're regular.
Okay, that's what you need.
Okay,
you need high-waisted, because the way that they make high-waisted pants, this is a bad example because, well, it's not a terrible example. They're not jeans, but they are a leather pant. These will not move from my waist, right? All day they will stay up. And the same thing goes across the board really with high-waisted things. And I bet you'll actually find them to be more comfortable too. And you won't be, so again, I was telling Julie, like, all of those pants up there, there's not one pant up there that is not high-waisted, because I know that high-waisted pants work for my body and my shape. All of the low sort of rise jeans, or the ones that I used to have to wear belts with to make sure they fit around my waist. I mean, that was like such a huge issue when I was younger, right? And I didn't know my body shape, and I didn't know how to dress my shape. And I would wear low-rise jeans and they'd be gigantic around my waistband, and I always have to wear belts. And then the belt would be ruined because they, you know, it'd be pulling in the back, and, you know, so on and so forth. And then I realized, oh my gosh, high-waisted pants are perfect pants for my body shape. So I don't ever have, you know, difficulty pants falling down, having to pull them up, making sure that my underwear is not showing, which was a huge issue with mid-rise or low-rise pants. I don't have to worry about any of that anymore. So I suggest that you look for a great brand of pant, high-rise pant with stretch. And once you find that pant for you, you've got to stick with that brand. And I think that it will really help your comfort level and also your style.
perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have another question. Aska, I don't know if you can turn on your video where you are, or if you, there you go. Hello. You're on mute. Okay.
Hi, Jill. Hey, Meredith, thank you so much. This has been so interesting, kind of debunking some of the facts that, you know, we've been told. But I'm currently traveling with one big suitcase. My husband and I decided to leave our apartment, and I know it's COVID, so it's a bit difficult, but we've decided to kind of downsize. And when I'm finding out, moving in and out of different temperature and season, because we were in Aruba for the holidays and now we're back in LA, and now, you know, it was 85 and now it's like 65. So we just don't want to carry a lot of stuff. So I know you mentioned all the essentials and the things that work, but I still think that's a lot. What do you do when you have limited space, but still you want to kind of make sure that you have the work outfit, the comfort outfit, and kind of mix and match, but still have enough to not like go overweight on your suitcase?
Sure. So, I mean, I guess the easiest way to sort of help you out is to just make sure that you have layers, right? Because if you're going from temperature, like one climate to a different climate, even though it's not super drastic, you're not going from like Aruba to like Massachusetts where it's 25 degrees out, right? You don't need a down jacket and things of that nature. So in that aspect, you're lucky, right? So you can find things, I'll refer you back to the basics again, but sort of just finding those layers, right? You can be in Aruba with a tank top and a pair of shorts, or a pair of jeans. And when you come back to LA, you can throw on a denim button down shirt, or even a white button down shirt over your tank top. And I think just sort of creating those sort of layers is probably the best way, making sure that you have enough, not in terms of amount of clothing, but like the warmth aspect. So a cardigan or a sweatshirt. And you really only need to have one of each, right? You don't need to have 12 tank tops. You don't need to have 12 sweatshirts or cardigans or jackets. I think sort of dumbing it down to have one of each essential, I think would probably be really beneficial. So if you have in your suitcase now where you've got, 6 t-shirts, all different colors, well, choose, let's say, your 2 favorite ones that you wear the most often that look the best against your skin tone. And then, put the others in storage, that sort of thing. You only need 1 pair of jeans. You got to make sure you got the one workout outfit. You don't need about 10 like I would have.
Yeah. You totally read my mind. So with that, do I pick like solid, basic, like the neutral colors that you recommended? Because I think patterns gets a bit tricky. And maybe like what you just did with the button down with the leopard pattern, like I like that idea, because then I can wear like a t-shirt that's basic or a tank top, and I can just put that on top, or wear solo. Yeah.
I think, I don't think necessarily that you need to get rid of your patterns. I think mixing and matching patterns, I love to do. So you could do like, let's see if I have a good example here. Sure. I'll just give you this example. Okay.
I wish I could just go to my closet and pull out like I'm watching it like it's magic.
Yeah. Okay. So, I have a patterned bottom, camouflage. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then I've got a striped. So maybe you have a striped t-shirt or striped tank top. You can mix and match prints. Okay? And so I think that's really important. I don't want you to necessarily get rid of all of your patterns, right? Because if that's speak to you and those are like what your personality is and that's your style, I don't think that you should get rid of them. So maybe if you have, maybe keep like a stripe, maybe one animal print if you do animal prints, and maybe sort of keep it in that small range. Maybe like the wilder prints you can sort of maybe put into storage, but definitely keep the prints, because I think that they can be utilized and worn in multiple ways. I think one of the basic tops that you should have in your closet is a basic striped t-shirt, or a leopard t-shirt or something like that, because you can create 5 million outfits with even mixing them with other patterns.
Great. Thank you so much. This is so helpful. Thank you, Meredith.
My pleasure.
So I think we have time, I think probably for one last question. And one thing, I'll ask you a question. How, you're an expert, you've learned how to do this over time. And I sense that everybody is going to leave this call and sort of run to their closets and start like looking and planning. How do you know if you've put together an outfit using your building blocks? How do you know if it actually looks good on you? I mean, we can all be so self-critical. So is there a tool or a test, or how do you learn?
If you feel like it looks bad, it probably looks good. I mean, it's very I think honestly, like a lot of us really get into our own heads, and we are our own worst critics. And I think, you know, we sort of we second guess ourselves all the time. So I just say, if you're in that sort of predicament, like, oh, I'm not really sure if it looks good, it probably does. If you're following these formulas, you've got some basics, you know, the shapes and the cuts of the items that you're wearing, if they work for your shape, I'm pretty sure that it's going to look good. I think that we should, if I could give one piece of advice, is that we could just not be so hard on ourselves, right? Stop second guessing ourselves. Okay. If you like what you have on, then I would suggest to just go ahead and wear it.
And on that
it's
note,
really simple. It's so simple. You know, we make things so much more difficult for ourselves. You know, if we're practicing the self-love that I talked about in our first session, and we're moving our bodies and we're eating, you know, nutritional food, and if we're doing all those right things and we feel confident in what we put on, and then we're like, I don't know about this. You're not going to, if you're doing all those things, you're not going to be in that place. You're going to be confident in the decisions that you're making. I saw one question from Sam too, just very quickly. I know we're running out of time. What are my favorite high-waisted jean brands? So I love, my favorite actually pair of denim right now is from Levi's, because you can choose your length of the pant and you can choose the waist of your pant. And those two things, the length of your pant, and I'm sorry, the inseam too, right? So I can choose high-waisted, I can choose stretchy, and I can choose how long they are. Those three, that combo right there is going to be perfect. So Levi's is a great place for that. I also tend to find, I know that some stores now, which was so exciting, they, you know, carry a curvy girl line. So they have a line like that at H&M. And so I don't look at anything other than high rise with stretch, no matter what it is, because more often than not, nothing else works for my shape. So I say all that to say, once you find what works for you, just stick with it. So if you see like a low rise pants, you really like the wash, but it's not high rise, just don't go there, you know, because it's not going to work for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This has been the most fantastic January. I know I feel the better for having spent my lunch hours with you. And I'm looking forward to the time when we'll all put outfits on and go somewhere and see one another. And we'll all, I'm sure, comment on how stylish and fantastic we all look. So with much gratitude to you, everyone else, please make sure that you go to the Wildcat Hub. I put the address in the chat so you can take a quick look at that. Bookmark that, because Meredith's videos are all there under the Alumni Experts section. And you'll be able to watch and refresh, and if you missed some of the earlier ones. And then again, please join with all of us in the office who've begun following Meredith on Instagram and Facebook. Spread the word, share it with your friends. We are so grateful to our expert alumni who are so generous with their time and knowledge. So thank you, Meredith. It was great to see everyone. You know, I don't know, it's Wednesday, so have a great weekend.